Our next guest, one of those very lawmakers who got one of the warnings, Kentucky Republican Congressman and House Judiciary Committee member, Thomas Massie is back. Let's get sassy with Massie. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me on, Kennedy. Yeah, the way you can tell this is not about the science is there are Democrat members of Congress. They walk out of the chamber, they tear their mask off, and then they go about their business. You can only be fined if you're on camera. If you're in the chamber of the House or if you're in a committee, then she'll slap you with a $500 fine. I was a little bit disappointed. I got off with a warning yesterday. So today, I went back to the floor without a mask and made sure I got that $500 fine.
Congratulations. We're very proud of you. And you have to stand up for this because we need some uniformity here. And I need you to explain this to me because we were told by Dr. Fauci that the country has to achieve herd immunity. He said that's somewhere between 70 and 80%. The House conceivably has herd immunity because 75% of you are fully vaccinated. Why doesn't Speaker Pelosi trust these vaccines?
That's a good question. She's sending the wrong message to America.
Clearly.
Members of Congress were beginning to get vaccinated in December. Trust me, these geriatric legislators shoved their way to the front of the vaccine line, and they all had 2 shots by January, so that all of them who wanted it. Now, there are folks like me who had the virus, got the antibody test, and I am fully vaccinated by nature, okay? And it's been proven in studies that that's just as effective as the vaccine. I'm not advocating to go get infected instead of the vaccine. You should probably get the vaccine instead of the infection. But we've all either had one or the other.
Yeah, you have to count that. You have to count that in herd immunity. You have to. It's part of the equation.
It is part of the equation, and there's no way we can give it to each other now. I mean, she knows that. That's why we can walk around the halls. We're elbow to elbow on airplanes and in the cafeteria here in Congress. But when we go to the floor and you're in front of a camera, she wants the theater to continue, and that's why she's slapping us with these fines. But look, this is the predicate for all of America. If we don't stand up to this right now, then there will be employers all over the country who are going to mandate that everybody turn over their medical records, that everybody get vaccinated, or they don't have a job, or they're coerced into getting the vaccine. And that's why we're standing up. It's not about us. It's about sending the right message to America. Number one, if you've developed immunity either through a vaccine or natural infection, there's no freaking reason for you to wear a mask. Number two, your boss, and in our case, Nancy Pelosi wants to be our boss, can't mandate that.
I think that the Democrats are going to lose in the midterms because of stupidity like this. I wish there were more liberty-minded people like you. I wish there were more libertarians, but there's not. So right now you are last best hope, it appears, in the House. So you have to stand your ground because, you know, for those of us lay people, civilians, we look at this and we're incredibly confused because, you know, we're told if you're vaccinated, you can go maskless indoors and out. However, I walk around New York City and half the people are still masked outside and almost everyone inside, even though today supposedly the governor of New York lifted the mask mandate. So we don't know whether we're coming or going, and I think it's like that across, you know, large parts of the country, particularly in heavy-handed blue states.
Well, look to states like Florida and Texas. I mean, that's what broke the CDC on this issue. They had to finally acknowledge that rates are going down in Florida and Texas, and they've done away with their masks there. Now, one interesting thing, Kennedy, on the floor of the House yesterday, when I was kind of one of the leaders in this revolt, but Brian Mast was in front. But what happened is we decided to go to the front and stand in the well, and there were more women than men. And so I'm trying to figure out why are there more women willing to stand up, Republican women. And what I realized is none of the men are allowed to spend $500 for the fine. They don't have the checkbooks, the women do, and they just went ahead and wrote the check.
Well, I'll also tell you why. To be completely honest, women are pissed because it's because of regulations like this and kids being kept out of school that many of them have been kept out of jobs. And some of your colleagues are very lucky to be gainfully employed in Congress because there are a lot of women across the country that are not participating in the labor force because they can't, because they're staying home taking care of their kids who are still Zooming because of the federal stupid, idiot, dumb government. I hope I didn't offend you.
You know, Fauci has said that this fall children should stay masked up in school. That is ridiculous, and I can understand why mothers and fathers are upset about that.
They are. All right. Congressman Massie, good to see you in your full face.
Face freedom, Kennedy.
Amen. I love it.